This is Dr. Glenn Kent, Assistant Professor for Health Psychology. And what was your first research project?
Well, my first research project took place when I was working at the University of Pennsylvania, their flagship hospital. My title at the time, get ready for this, was as an intraoperative neurophysiologic technician. And basically what that meant was I would monitor the nervous system of patients who were undergoing certain surgeries to make sure that the surgeons weren't damaging or affecting the nervous system. Obviously, that's an important system in our bodies. So the research that I was doing at the time was research that my mentor was conducting. He was a neurologist, and he was teaming up with an anesthesiologist. And they were looking at the data we were collecting during this nervous system monitoring. We collected these things called evoked potentials. Let me show you. This is an evoked potential. This is exactly what it looks like. In the course of a surgery, we would collect hundreds of these evoked potentials on each patient. And it was Glenn's job to measure the height of these waveforms. I'm not kidding. With a ruler, I had to measure the height of these waveforms. And again, so there were hundreds of these waveforms for each patient, for each surgery, and there were many, many surgeries. It was exciting for about 5 minutes, and then it got really, really boring really, really quickly. The researchers I was working with realized that, and they wanted me to gain more out of this experience than just measure waveforms. So they attended the yearly national conference of neurophysiologic technicians, and they asked me to present the findings, some of the findings that we had gathered from this study that I had been working on. And so I had to put together the presentation and deliver it to a group of a couple of hundred attendees, whom none of which I knew, and none of them knew me. And it was on a topic that I knew a little bit about. I knew how to measure waveforms, but unfortunately that really wasn't the point of the research. It was just an aspect of the job of the data we were collecting. So I get in front of this group of people at this conference. I'm scared, as you can imagine. The delivery goes very well. The problem was the follow-up question and answer period. And I did well on a couple of questions, but they really stymied me on a few others. And I was, just, as you can imagine, quite upset that it didn't go quite as well as I had hoped. My mentors came up to me after I presented. They said I did a great job. And they said, Glenn, we were right out in the audience. Next time, if you're not sure about an answer, bring us in. We're part of a team. So I learned a lot from that experience. And then again, that was what my mentors wanted me to do. They wanted me to learn a lot. So I really took away two things from this research experience. The first thing is that when you're presenting, make sure that you know everything there is to know about your topic. Because when question and answer period comes, you really want to be well prepared. And I know colleagues of mine here at the college have said this already, so I really just kind of echo that. When you get in front of a group of people, know your stuff inside and out. So that was one lesson I learned. The second lesson that I learned was this. Choose your own research, right? This is not something that I would have chosen on my own. It was somebody else's research. I did it because it was part of my job. But at the end of the day, I always knew that I wanted to do what I wanted to do when it came to research. And even if my research involved measuring these types of waveforms, at least it was mine, and it would have been more interesting. So always pick your own research. Do your own projects. It's always work, but at least it's your work. Thanks.